Based on comments I've seen elsewhere on YouTube regarding Romans 1:24 and 1:26 through 27 regarding lusts and unnatural relations, I would like to clear a few things up. I'll also be appending some comments at the end of this video that have nothing to do with Romans or the Bible regarding whether or not gay people can make or cause others to become gay. But first of all, Romans 1:24 says, "Therefore God gave them up to the lusts of their hearts to impurity." Lusts. Is a gay relationship necessarily lustful? Sure, it can be. Same as a heterosexual one can. However, like a heterosexual relationship, it can also be loving, compassionate, monogamous, and dedicated. The verse goes on to say, "They exchanged the truth for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator." In other words, people were apparently worshiping beautiful trees, flowers, rivers, and such, rather than the God who created them, which is another form of lusts in God's eyes. Romans 1:26 says, "God gave them up to dishonorable passions," or lusts. And 26 through 27 goes on to say, "Their women exchanged natural relations for unnatural, and the men likewise gave up natural relations with women and were consumed with passion for one another." Natural relations. What is a natural relationship? For sexuality, the most common natural relationship is heterosexual. The most common. So are we to assume that the only natural relationship is also the most common one? Remember, we're talking about individual human beings here. Most human beings are born with a natural preference for using the right hand for most activities. Of course, there are some who have a natural preference for using the left hand, but they're far less common. A great deal of medical research has shown that for some people, the natural preference for intimate relationships is with those of their own sex. There's solid medical evidence supporting the observation that homosexuality is an inborn or natural characteristic for some individuals. No, it's not traceable to some chromosome or a gene, but there is definitely tangible, repeatedly observable characteristics that consistently differ between the brains of heterosexual and homosexual individuals. For a good scientific explanation of this phenomena, please reference this video. I've included a link to it below. I cannot conceive of a truly compassionate, loving God rejecting those of us who are born with a natural preference for homosexuality, any more than I can conceive of him rejecting those of us who are left-handed. It would seem that in these verses, Paul is saying that some have given up their own natural preferences for those that are not natural for them. That is, people giving up their natural sexual preferences for unnatural, for them, and probably also lustful, relationships. But why would they do this? Could it possibly be to satisfy some Canaanite or other paganistic temple prostitution rites and rituals and gods, which the real God has repeatedly warned his people against from the beginning? Or could it be just so they could indulge in good old-fashioned sex orgies or something, which is also opposed to God's way? As an additional footnote, I've heard that some people believe that kids and even adults may be converted to become gay as a result of being around gay people. Sadly, some irresponsible individuals in the gay community are guilty of pushing this notion and even threatening to do it. But based upon what I've said above, and the suggested video which I've linked below, and the fact that decades of gay conversion therapy have failed quite miserably at converting gays to straights, I would suggest that it is very unlikely that gays can cause or convert others to become gay. It works both ways. Gays can very seldom be converted to straights, but the reverse is also true. One has to have a natural inclination toward homosexuality to be gay. It can't be imposed or learned from the outside. It is true that bisexual people sometimes become gay later in life. Oftentimes this happens, or appears to just happen, because their natural tendencies toward homosexuality have been so heavily suppressed by the conventional mores and expectations of society, particularly during their developmental years as adolescents and young adults. But the tendency to be gay must come from within the individual. It can't be somehow implanted from an external source. Finally, it's generally recognized that being gay or straight is not some absolute definitive condition like a light switch that is either on or off. Most people's sexuality tends to lie on a continuum that ranges from 100% straight to 100% gay on the other side. Few people are at either extreme. For whatever they may be worth, there are several self-evaluation surveys available online that attempt to place the degree to which one is either gay or straight based upon an individual's responses to several multiple choice questions. Some of these surveys seem to give pretty credible results, while others seem to be more of a game than a serious survey. Most of the credible ones give some kind of background regarding the individuals who develop them and what their credentials are, usually degrees in psychology and related fields, with experiences such as psychological practice and participation in behavioral academia. In your search engine, you can enter terms such as gay tests, sexual orientation quiz, sexual survey, and other things similar to find these surveys. Thanks for watching, and please give me the thumbs up or down as you believe is warranted, and also feel free to leave your comments, positive or negative. Your input is always welcome. Thank you again for watching. You have a nice day.